Imagine lying awake at 3 in the morning, replaying a conversation from earlier that day, analyzing every word you said, every expression on the other person's face, wondering if you said something wrong, if they misunderstood you, if they're now thinking less of you. And the more you replay it, the worse it gets, because now you're not just thinking about what happened, you're thinking about what could happen tomorrow, next week, next month. And suddenly your mind is spinning through 1,000 different scenarios, most of them bad, most of them unlikely, but all of them feeling absolutely real in this moment. And here's what makes it even worse. You know you're overthinking, you can see yourself doing it, but you can't stop. It's like watching yourself drown and not being able to reach for the life raft because your own thoughts have you paralyzed. And if this sounds familiar, if you've spent hours caught in mental loops that lead nowhere, then stay with me, because what I'm about to share will explain why your mind does this, why overthinking isn't just an annoying habit, but a psychological pattern that, if left unchecked, can slowly erode your peace, your relationships, and even your sense of reality itself. Most people think overthinking is just about thinking too much, but that's not the full picture. Overthinking is what happens when your mind tries to solve problems that don't have clear solutions, or worse, problems that don't even exist yet. Think about it. When was the last time overthinking actually helped you make a better decision? When did worrying about every possible outcome lead to clarity or peace? The truth is, it never does, because overthinking isn't really about finding answers, it's about avoiding something deeper, something your mind doesn't want you to face. And what is that something? Usually it's uncertainty. Here's what happens. Your brain is wired to seek patterns, to predict outcomes, to keep you safe. And when it encounters a situation it can't predict or control, it panics. And so it does the only thing it knows how to do. It keeps analyzing, keeps searching for an answer, keeps running simulations, hoping that if it thinks hard enough, long enough, it will finally figure everything out and gain control. But life doesn't work that way. Life is messy, unpredictable, and no amount of mental rehearsal will ever give you the certainty you crave. So instead of finding peace, you find yourself trapped in an endless cycle. And over time, this cycle doesn't just exhaust you, it changes you. Let me tell you what overthinking really does to your life. First, it paralyzes you. Think about how many opportunities you've missed because you spent too long weighing the pros and cons, how many conversations you avoided because you couldn't figure out the perfect thing to say, how many risks you didn't take because your mind flooded you with every worst-case scenario. Overthinking convinces you that inaction is safer than action, that waiting for perfect clarity is wiser than moving forward with uncertainty. But here's the brutal truth. While you're stuck in your head analyzing, life keeps moving, and the longer you wait, the more you reinforce the belief that you're not capable of handling uncertainty, and this belief becomes a prison. Second, overthinking destroys your relationships, because when you're constantly analyzing what people think of you, reading into every text message, every pause in conversation, every shift in tone, you stop being present, you stop connecting authentically. Instead, you're performing, calculating, trying to say and do the right thing to avoid rejection or judgment. And people can feel that. They can sense when you're not really there, when you're too busy managing their perception of you to actually be yourself. And ironically, the very thing you fear, rejection, often happens not because of who you are, but because overthinking has made you distant, guarded, exhausting to be around. Third, and this is the part most people don't realize, overthinking warps your perception of reality. Your thoughts are not facts, but when you repeat them over and over, they start to feel like facts. You imagine someone is upset with you, and because you've thought about it so much, analyzed their behavior, looked for evidence, your mind convinces you it must be true, even when there's no proof. And so you start acting based on assumptions instead of reality. You withdraw, you get defensive, you create problems where none existed, and then when things fall apart, you point to it as proof that you were right all along. But you weren't right. You were just stuck in a story your mind created, and now that story has become a self-fulfilling prophecy. So why do we do this? Why does the mind fall into overthinking in the first place? Part of it is fear. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of making the wrong choice. And instead of confronting that fear directly, we try to think our way out of it. We believe that if we just analyze enough, we can avoid pain. But fear doesn't respond to logic, it responds to action. And another part of it is deeper, often rooted in childhood. Maybe you grew up in an environment where mistakes were harshly punished, where you had to constantly monitor the moods of others to stay safe, where love felt conditional based on how well you performed. And so you learned to overthink as a survival mechanism, a way to predict and control an unpredictable world. And even though you're no longer in that environment, your brain still operates as if you are, still scanning for danger, still trying to manage every variable, still believing that if you just think hard enough, long enough, it will finally
be safe. But here's the shift I want you to understand. What if overthinking isn't a flaw? What if it's just a misguided attempt at self-protection? A part of you trying to keep you safe the only way it knows how? And what if, instead of fighting it or hating yourself for it, you could learn to work with it, to gently redirect that mental energy towards something more useful? Because the truth is, you can't stop thinking. That's not how the brain works. But you can change what you do with your thoughts. You can learn to recognize when you're spiraling, and instead of diving deeper, you can pause.
Here's what that looks like. First, you name it. The moment you catch yourself overthinking, you say it out loud or in your mind, "I'm overthinking right now." This simple act of labeling creates distance between you and the thought. It reminds you that you are not your thoughts. You are the one observing them. And that distinction changes everything. Second, you ask yourself a different question. Instead of asking, "What if this goes wrong?" or "What are they thinking about me?" ask yourself, "What do I actually know right now?" Strip away the assumptions, the projections, the imagined futures, and come back to what's real right here in this moment. And you'll often find that what's real is far less overwhelming than what you imagined. Third, you move. Overthinking keeps you stuck in your head, but action, even small action, pulls you back into the present. Send the text, have the conversation, make the decision you've been avoiding. And yes, maybe it won't go perfectly, but you'll discover something powerful. You can handle imperfection. You can survive awkwardness, uncertainty, mistakes. And the more you prove that to yourself, the less power overthinking has over you.
And finally, you practice self-compassion. Because here's the truth. You're not broken for overthinking. You're human. Your mind is doing what minds do, trying to protect you from pain. But you don't need to be protected from life. You need to live it fully, messily, imperfectly. And that requires letting go of the illusion that you can think your way into certainty. Because you can't. None of us can. And that's not a weakness. That's just the nature of being alive.
So, here's the choice you face right now. You can continue down the path you've been on, letting overthinking control your decisions, your relationships, your peace. Or you can begin the process of reclaiming your mind, of stepping out of the endless loops and into the present moment, where life is actually happening. And I won't lie to you, it won't be easy. Your mind will resist. It will pull you back into old patterns. It will whisper that you need to figure everything out before you can move forward. But each time you choose differently, each time you act despite the uncertainty, you weaken the grip of overthinking, and you strengthen something far more valuable, your trust in yourself. Because at the end of the day, that's what overthinking really is, a lack of trust. Trust that you can handle whatever comes. Trust that you don't need to have all the answers. Trust that even if things don't go as planned, you'll be okay. And the beautiful thing is, you don't build that trust by thinking. You build it by doing, by living, by proving to yourself again and again that you are more resilient, more capable, more worthy than your overthinking mind has ever let you believe. So take a breath, let go of the need to figure it all out, and step forward into the unknown. Because that's where your life is waiting. Not in your head, but out here in the real, messy, beautiful world. And you're ready for it, even if your mind doesn't think so yet. Thanks for watching.